This is the 16th biennial conference of the Australian Society of Agronomy. It's 20 years since it was held at the University of New England. We were expecting 200 delegates, and we had to cut off registration at 300. We have 240 scientific papers that are being presented in 2.5 days with 6 excursions to different locations of the north and northwest. So it's really a premier event for Australian agronomy, so that anyone who's anyone in agronomy in Australia is at this conference.
Celsius Pro organises, basically tries to organise the weather so we can mitigate that risk for farmers. When growing, 70% of production is up to the weather. What we look to try and do is transfer that weather risk away from the farmer into those hands of the people that can actually control it. So I guess it's a transfer price mechanism where we take the risk of the weather away from the farmer and put it into the market.
So the fertiliser situation in Australia is that our trade in phosphates and nitrogen fertilisers and potassium fertilisers is part of a global trade balance. We produce about 500,000 tonnes that's exported, and we have about another 500,000 tonnes that comes into the country. So in terms of phosphorus fertilisers. Nitrogen fertilisers, we import urea and DAP, MAP sources globally, so that is a world market. Potash, we don't produce any potash in Australia, but most of the potash in fact comes mainly from North America. We don't have any potash reserves, so we're bound into that trading situation, which is again part of a global fertiliser trade network.
Now that we have the Carbon Farming Initiative, there's a prospect for Australian farmers to benefit from sequestering carbon in trees or in soil. But we do have a few challenges as far as introducing soil carbon trading into that carbon market. For a start, we know that soil carbon is very variable, and although we can measure it, it's going to be pretty costly if people have to go out and measure soil carbon to prove that they've sequestered carbon in their landscape. Secondly, although we have indications of practices that we can use to increase soil carbon, the requirements of the Carbon Farming Initiative are that it's based on a published scientific literature, and so at the moment we're putting together our research, and we've just recently completed a large research program to look at the impacts of practices on soil carbon, and we're busy analysing those data at the moment. But it will be a hurdle to have enough data to be able to predict accurately what a particular practice will mean for soil carbon. So it's going to take another couple of years, I think, before soil carbon trading will be introduced into that program.
I've come to the conference to meet new people and to see the cutting edge of agronomy and current research currently being conducted. I'm hoping that this will shape my future career direction and give me some inspiration as to what I want to do for the rest of my career in agriculture.